Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Oak Acquisition Corp v LOKVU just filed an amendment to their merger agreement, and this changes how one key part of the deal will work. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The amendment clarifies how certain preferred shareholders will be treated, and it seems to smooth out a potential wrinkle before the big business combination. So what is going on here is with Oak Acquisition Corp V, which is a special type of company called a SPAC or a SPAC. This means they were formed to find another company to merge with, effectively taking that company public. In this case, they are merging with a company called Teamshares. This report was filed on May 13, 2026, and it is about an important update to their merger agreement with Teamshares. Oak Acquisition Corp V, ticker symbol LOKVU on the Nasdaq, is getting closer to officially combining with Teamshares. Now, Oak Acquisition Corp V has a few different things traded on the Nasdaq. They have units which are a package deal of one Class A ordinary share and half a redeemable warrant. Then they have the Class A ordinary shares themselves and the redeemable warrants separately. These are all traded under symbols like LOKVU, LOKVU, and LOKVU respectively. The main point of this filing is related to item 1.01, which is about entering into a material definitive agreement. That simply means they've made a significant agreement that affects the company. Specifically, they've entered into a second amendment to their merger agreement. Think of a merger agreement as the contract that spells out all the details of how two companies are going to combine. This amendment is like a follow-up to that contract, adding or clarifying some terms. Back on the 14th of November 2025, Oak Acquisition Corp V, which is registered in the Cayman Islands, first signed an agreement to merge with Teamshares. They've already made one amendment to it back on the 1st of April 2026, and now they are making a second amendment. So why the second amendment? The filing breaks it down into a few key reasons. First, they are adding details about an offer Teamshares made to some of its preferred stockholders. Instead of their preferred stock automatically turning into common stock as part of the merger, these holders can choose to get what is called liquidation preference treatment. Instead, this is usually a more secure way to get their money back, especially if things don't go perfectly. Second, they are clarifying the order of operations. Teamshares will make sure these liquidation preference elections happen before they convert the preferred stock into common stock. This ensures the elected preference is honoured. And third, they are adding any new terms and definitions related to these liquidation preference elections directly into the main merger agreement. This is all about making sure the deal terms are super clear and cover all the possibilities. The filing emphasises that, apart from these specific changes in the first and second amendments, the original merger agreement from November 2025 is still very much in effect. They are just fine-tuning things. This is a key statement. They are saying these changes are mainly to clarify how things will work behind the scenes, and they don't fundamentally change the financial deal or the overall plan for the merger. This is good news because it suggests there aren't any major surprises or deal breakers being introduced. Now, looking further into the filing, there is a section about additional information and where to find it. This is important for investors who want to dig deeper. To complete the merger, they filed a big registration document called an S-4 with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This document includes a proxy statement for Live Oak shareholders, basically asking for their vote on the merger, and a prospectus detailing the securities that will be issued as part of the deal. They filed this on the 3rd of April 2026 and amended it later that month. They really stress here that anyone thinking about voting or investing should read these documents very carefully because they contain crucial information about the business combination. It's a standard but very important warning. This part talks about who might be considered participants in asking for proxy votes. Basically, it says that Live Oak Teamshares and their executives and directors might be involved in soliciting votes. It directs people to read the proxy statement for more details on who these individuals are and their interests. This is a legal disclaimer. They are making it clear that this report is not trying to get people to buy or sell securities, nor is it a formal request for a vote. It is just an informational filing. And like most filings, Therese has a significant section on forward-looking statements. This is where they talk about their hopes and expectations for the future, but they always include a strong disclaimer that actual results could be very different. They list a whole bunch of risks. For instance, they mention that something could happen that leads to the termination of the merger agreement. This is a common risk in any deal. Another big risk is not being able to actually complete the combination. This could happen if they don't get the necessary approvals from shareholders or if other closing conditions aren't met. This reminds me of some SPAC deals that unfortunately fall apart after announcing a merger. either due to lack of shareholder approval or because the target company's business prospects dimmed. We saw that pattern with some companies in 2022 and 2023. The risk here is that if shareholder approval isn't secured for this merger, the entire deal could simply collapse. They also worry about whether they can actually achieve the benefits they expect from the merger. This includes facing competition, successfully growing and managing the combined company profitably, and keeping their important employees. A specific risk for SPACs is the level of redemptions. This means how many of Live Oak's public shareholders decide to cash out their shares before the merger is completed, rather than holding them through the new company. High redemptions can mean less capital for the combined business. Finally, the report lists the exhibits filed with it. The most important exhibit here is Exhibit 2.1, which is the actual second amendment to the merger agreement itself. This is the document containing all the details we just discussed. There is also an exhibit for the interactive data file, which makes financial information easier to understand for regulators and investors. The report is signed by Richard Hendricks, the Chief Executive Officer of Live Oak Acquisition Corp V, on May 13, 2026. So, what is the big story here? This filing isn't about new financial results, but rather about refining the terms of a significant business combination. The amendment primarily clarifies how certain preferred stockholders will be treated in the merger with Teamshares. They are adding provisions for liquidation preference treatment, which is a more conservative option for those shareholders. Crucially, the company states that these amendments do not materially change the economic terms or overall structure of the business combination. This suggests a move towards greater clarity and fewer potential hiccups as the merger with Teamshares progresses. The risks outlined are standard for SPAC deals, particularly concerning shareholder approvals and redemption levels. But this particular amendment seems focused on smoothing out a complex aspect of the deal for a specific group of shareholders. My biggest concern is always the potential for shareholder redemptions in SPAC deals, as this can significantly impact the capital available for the merged entity. What I am actually looking for is confirmation of shareholder votes, and perhaps a clearer picture of the post-merger capitalization in future filings. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps. And subscribe for more deep dives. Check out the Discord in the description.